Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah. Big Mama's house. Welcome to Big Mama's house. Big Mama's house. Yeah.
Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. Mama, me, is here today to talk to you about some insights that I have about sister wives, specifically about Janelle and Christine and their quote, being sister wives and they've always been so close and yada, yada, yada. Well, me and some of my friends on the internet have different ideas. So, here we go, y'all. In my opinion, Janelle was never really a good sister wife to Christine. Janelle has always taken advantage of Christine being a stay at home mom. Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, it was a mutually beneficial relationship and yada, yada, yada. But I still think it was more one sided. And so to me, it's not, I think it's worth pointing out considering their new party line of being best friends. Janelle, back in season 1, said that she would go to work before the sun is up and home when the sun went down. And she even smiled when she was bragging that she doesn't have to rush home to her children. And if she wants to go to a movie, she can, because she knows her sister wife will watch her kids. After watching them all day at that point, or even on a Saturday or Sunday, still, you haven't been with your kids all week. It's like, step up, mom, right? Um, And then we know that, again, season 1, her oldest son Logan, would get them ready for school, make them breakfast, and then her sister wife one of them would watch her kids until dinner time. And it wasn't always just Christine watching them; it was also Mary. Um, so she'd watch them till dinner time, and then Janelle would pretty much just put them to bed most days. And of course, we know that Cody in season 1 made a big deal about being able to go through each home and say goodnight to all the kids and whatever. But again, he's just there to put the kids to bed. That's big of you, dude. Um, but the fact that she admitted going to a movie after work, knowing Christine had watched her kids all day, or Mary, and that's just crazy. I mean, she said her coworkers thought that she was either rich or had the best babysitters in the world, and she never had to take a day off work because her kids were sick. That's really great. That's nice of you. I mean, I guess it's the same with every stay-at-home parent, but Christine wasn't just a stay-at-home parent, was she? She did work part-time at night, overnights. So she would watch her kids all day. You'd get home and, after dinner, and then she would have to get ready to go to work. So whenever she would get off in the morning, she would go to bed because she'd been up for like 17, 18 hours. And that is why Logan had to get the kids up for school. Um, because they were out of people by that point, I guess. Because I don't know, Mary and Cody had to get up early for work too. I don't know why they weren't around. It's stupid. Um, and it has been discussed that by many, who this is like a running theory, that Janelle was favored by Cody because she mostly had sons, and Cody would spend most of his time with them. So she had a completely different experience from the other wives, and I think um, at the time, Janelle was the Robin. She was the favored one. Not to the same extent, obviously, because she didn't get to like sit home and do nothing and have nannies and everyone doing everything for her and her kids and not have to lift a finger. But um, at least, 10, 15 years before Robin came in the picture, she was the golden child. And then, of course, we know through the seasons that when Christine vented to Janelle, Janelle never really acknowledged or validated Christine's feelings. Janelle would just repeat that that's not how Cody is to her. So she doesn't know why he treats her that way or whatever. So maybe she thought Christine was just being dramatic or exaggerating or something. I don't know. Um, but Janelle never had an issue with how Christine was treated. until Janelle started getting treated the same way. Interesting. It took COVID for Janelle to finally realize, hey, you know, shit's not equal. It's not even, and it's not fair. And you've been in that happy place, golden place for so long that it really smacked her hard in the face. And Christine even said that at one point in this season, or maybe I think it was this season, that Janelle never had an issue with Cody or Robin or any of the things because it never really affected her. But then when COVID came around and Janelle and her kids started getting ignored, it hit them a lot harder than it hit Christine's kids because they had always been ignored and had less time and attention from Cody. That says so much. And it's like, I think Christine maybe has her eyes open now that she's left, or maybe she's known it the entire time, and that's what caused all of her issues, which I don't blame her. I'd be bitchy and cry whiny too if, for 10 years, my entire marriage, everyone else was more important than me and my kids. Fuck all that, right, guys? And in their book, they say that they weren't close and they don't really understand each other much, but they all are there for the kids. Please, y'all, if you haven't read the book, and I know a lot of people haven't, go and listen to the book series. It's the very beginning of the Sister Wife series that I started on this channel. Number 1 should be chapter 1 of the book. So if you're interested in hearing about their past, to know why they're all so full of shit today, you might want to give it a check. I'm just saying. They said that we know they weren't real close at the beginning or even the middle, really. It's just the last few years that they got close, really. But always just kind of took advantage of Christine, in my opinion, and turned a blind eye to how she was treated, which makes it weird now that they're supposed to be best friends. And I don't know why they're being portrayed as that when it was a one-sided relationship for so long. It's just a little bit crazy to me. And Janelle didn't really care that Cody was telling her that he wasn't attracted to Christine for years. For years, Cody was telling Janelle this. And she even said, the first time he said that to me, I'd be out of there. Well, but it's okay for him to talk that way about your sister wife, who basically raised your kids for you, and she's being treated like shit, and she was, but as soon as Janelle started getting treated a certain way, like Mary and Christine were being treated, she's ready to, get the fuck out at the first sign. But Christine, even now, is more of a friend than Janelle is. How do they not see it, guys? Do you guys see it? Like, and Janelle thinks that polygamy is the answer to personal autonomy inside of a relationship, and she'd be better off with a real friends with benefits. You know what I mean? And I know Janelle is a religious woman. Her faith means a lot to her. And so, just having a man toy on the side, just kind of, a fuck buddy, if you will. That's not her style. That's never going to be Janelle. That's not how she operates. Because obviously she said that Cody was no longer her friends with benefits, and there's no benefits to be had. Cody even thinks that she just wants him for his body, which I don't understand. Like, he's not all that and whatever. And maybe for a bigger girl who's maybe been told, like, oh, you're never gonna get a good looking guy or whatever. You need to lose weight in order to get a man. And he talked about the renaissance that they went through in Vegas. And that's just kind of gross talking about that because they swore they would never talk about their sex lives. And on the date that he took her on for her birthday, like, he was like hankering and like for a kiss from Janelle. I mean, am I right? It's like, does Janelle have hidden talents that we don't know about? Like, obviously he wants Robin because she's his most loyal customer, or he's her most loyal customer. But maybe Janelle has customers too, you know what I'm saying? Just saying. He seems all about it. I don't understand it. But I think that Cody saying all that stuff to the camera is desperate and it's so pathetic. And he was talking last tell all about how the women were all panting to get in his family and they begged to be in his family. Well, who's begging now, Cody? That's all I'm saying. I know that's not about Christine or Janelle, but it's kind of like right there involved. So I just had to point that out to y'all. Um, and she said, in the last couple episodes, that while he was still sleeping in her house, it was like they're inside the same car, but looking out separate windows. Um, Janelle always said things were good with her and Cody, and what that means to her, who knows? Maybe the sex and being involved with her kids was all she really wanted. I mean, and hey, if that works for you, girl, fine. But you can't claim to be best friends when you allow the same treatment for your sister wife, who is supposedly your best friend and who you acknowledge pretty much helped raise raise your kids for you. You're okay with them being treated that way, and I don't know. And she's an avoider. Like if she doesn't want to talk about a certain subject, she has a very deft way of just going around it with a non-committal answer. Yeah, and I think maybe that's why they call her the Teflon Queen. Not so much that like nothing sticks to her like lies, but more of like, she's just she just lets everything slide, literally. Um, and has always been sort of detached, and we've all seen where she seems cold, like very emotionless a lot of time. Um, and I don't know. It's like Christine had said that she couldn't stay in a marriage with Cody, watching him be in a functional marriage with the other wives, but had no problem. She had no problem letting Mary stay for years, knowing her marriage wasn't functional. Um, so they're all such hypocrites, and they're all selfish, and they only think about themselves and how the polygamy affects them and their children. And it's so frustrating to me. And she's still using Christine this season. Come over and help me decorate my tree. Get my boys to talk on film so that we can get some new blood in here. Build my bookcase. And it seems like they're like friends for filming, maybe like only on air. I don't know, but it's weird. It's weird, you guys. And the fact that Christine invited her to the lunch with her friends so that Janelle could meet more people, is really telling that I don't think Janelle has the personality or the interest in keeping up with friendships. She's got her whatever with Cody, it's whatever point, I don't know. And then she's got her kids, she's got her grandkids, she's traveling, she's got her little garden now, she's moved twice, she's still got Savannah at home. And it's just like, I don't think she has the bandwidth, the emotional bandwidth for other people in her life. Even though she says that she wants friends, but like if that were true, you've lived in Flagstaff for 5 years now. Why have you no friends? Like, I don't understand it. You don't even have any work friends? That's weird. Does anyone else think it's weird, or is it just me? Am I crazy? Am I the one that's not seeing things correctly? Please let me know if you think that I'm way off base about Janelle. Um, and Janelle also talked trash about Christine with Cody over the years. They've called her a princess behind her back, and Cody is confused why they're acting like BFFs because of all the shit that she's talked about Christine. It's like that's why he's like they're so like hypocritical, and he's right. I mean, they're all hypocrites and they're all selfish and they're all kind of bad people because they're way too old to be acting this way, especially for people who all claim that they've been in therapy for years. Bullcrap. Um, and I'm sorry, but which princess did they think that Christine was? Cinderella? Cooking and cleaning and teaching and driving and tending to and kissing boo-boos and breaking up fights and cleaning up messes. for 13 children. Oh, and working at night too, right? Come on, y'all. It's like maybe she was the princess because she wanted a little bit more attention from her husband, which, if he's being fair with his time, okay, fine. You're being a whiny brat, Christine. But we all know that Cody is not always equal with his time despite what he says, right? So I'm kind of believing Christine that she was not getting equal time. And I know she wasn't getting equal treatment. We all know that. Um, and it was because she always complained that she didn't get enough of Cody's attentions, that the other wives felt that she was an entitled little brat. And, it's crazy because they're the same way now. Do you see it? Mary had to marry first. She saw what it was like and it wasn't fun. Then it happened to Janelle and she doesn't like it and it isn't fun. But let's be okay. This is what we all think. Janelle's kind of cold, right? Emotionless. However, we found out this season, pretty recently, in fact, that Janelle is a player, right? She plays to the camera. She was from the very beginning, she was the smart one. She held everything like inside a Kevlar vest, right up against her. She never let it out, never really had any like tears or anger or blow-ups or whatever like the other wives did on camera. That's why we all thought that she was just either the super mature, like got it all together one, or just completely cold and emotionless. But now we know the truth, don't we, fam? Yes, we do. Because Janelle's mask slipped this season. We saw her yelling and cursing and crying, and oh my lord, it was glorious. Janelle, girl, where you been all my life? That's me, okay? Like, if you're gonna do me wrong, we're not having a chill conversation, okay? Because if you're gonna start throwing shit up at me, it's gonna get real, right? And I am a passionate person. When I get wound up, as some of you have realized, especially if you like wear earbuds or headphones when you're listening, sometimes I get loud. I apologize if that has ever hurt your ear beans. I'm sorry. But like that's just me. It's just who I am. It's not trying to be dramatic. It's not like an intentional thing. When I get riled up, whether it's excitement, anger, whatever, I get loud. I get boisterous about things. And yes, you all know that I like my four-letter words. They are like the best way to describe things sometimes. It's just, again, that's who I am. And I'm sorry if you guys don't like it. Please don't hate me. Um, but when her mask slipped and she was crying about her finances being all jumbled up with Cody and Robin, and then, I was like, finally, oh my God, we see you. I see you, Janelle. You're letting us see the real you for the first time in 18 seasons. And we're here for it. We're here for you. Be you, Janelle. We don't want to see some, perfect little cookie cutter polygamy wife. We want to see who you are. We want to see the Janelle that Robin and Christine and Cody know. The Janelle that your kids know. Like, we want to know you. Like, I know you're in it for the money. It's just a show and blah, 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 whatever. But you have been playing a part for all these years. And I think that it's disingenuous. If you're going to, quote, tell us who you are and show us your real life and all this stuff, be who you really are. Like, you cannot tell me that all these years, whenever Janelle is like the hardworking, practical one, she doesn't get all emotional. Yes, she fucking does. She just doesn't do it on camera because she's smart. It's like, she's like, I'd rather be called cold than crazy, whiny little brat like they do Christine or whatever. I'm like, oh God, lady. And okay, let's be real. Nobody forced Christine to be a stay-at-home mom. She wanted to. That was what she wanted in life. That's great. But then the oldest kids, Logan and Aspen, were put to work as soon as they were old enough to, watching their siblings. Christine obviously could have gotten a full-time job outside of the home to bring in money and all that stuff and help everybody out. But it was easier for everyone to have her at home because paying for daycare or babysitters for all those babies, it would have been worthwhile for any of them to work. So it was much more, and let's be real, they're saying that Cody wasn't on any of the birth certificates. So you know that from the day those kids were born, they had Medicaid or whatever each state's version of that is, with basically the insurance for children, okay, and for pregnant women. And let's be real, Janelle and Christine were pregnant for the better part of a decade, probably. So they probably had the free government insurance the entire time as well. I'm sure they were getting WIC or whatever that state's example is, where they give like milk and like baby formula and baby food and like good things for you while you're pregnant, like peanut butter and milk and cheese and things like that, for low-income families of pregnant women or small children. They would also probably get food stamps, maybe even get welfare money. I don't know what they call it in Utah or wherever they lived when they were all the babies were little. But yeah, I'm sure they got plenty of government benefits, each and every one of them, for their children, because there was no father on the birth certificate. Janelle probably wouldn't have because she worked full time, but having 6 kids on her only income, who knows if she received anything. Christine only working part time and having all those kids, she was bringing in the food stamps and whatever. So I'm just saying, it's kind of, I don't know. But the point is, the kids got put to work because the other adults were not able to, I guess. And Janelle always said that her financial contribution to the family was her reason, that she was the one that supported everyone. Because I know that while Mary was looking into getting her job working with troubled kids, I think she was working on her education for that. And so it allowed her to be able to do that, plus work some. And of course, Mary only having one child, it did make things easier for her to be able to do things like that. But I don't know if she would have been able to do it. Well, I mean, only one kid. She probably could have done it without their help, but it's always nice having everyone help out. Um, Janelle kind of puts her own needs above everyone else's. Um, And like, here's my thing. Did she ever offer to take all of Christine's kids so that she could go have a day off, go to a movie, just go for a drive or sit in the park or I don't know, whatever the hell she wanted to do? Did she do that? Um, and not to mention, she's left the family several times whenever she didn't want to move with them for whatever reason. But her kids went with her and were away from their father and their other siblings and their other moms for months or years at a time. Um, she's decided that the trailer was a great way to save money and live at the property. And she moved her teenage daughter into it when they had I mean, there's basically living in Little House on the Prairie days. They had to have a generator for electric. They had to have, like, go and fetch water to have water in their home. They had to empty the poo tank. They had to, like, do all this maintenance stuff every day just to be able to live there. And that's, again, it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. And she just does all these things because, if she didn't get her way, then she just would leave, and I don't know. That's just, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know all the, ins and outs of the situation. But according to their book, it's all just seemed kind of meh. You know what I mean? And if it wasn't just a meh situation, maybe you should have put that in the book. Um, Everyone says that Mary is the selfish one in the family, but Janelle is pretty selfish, in my opinion. Um, Janelle has never been a real friend to Christine. They each had their roles, which, great, whatever. But here's my thing. They all played different roles in the family. He could abuse Mary and still have her loyalty, not physically abuse, but like emotionally, mentally, like neglect her, always tell her that she's wrong whenever, everyone's upset. And it was easiest um, for everyone to just drop what they were doing and give him what he wanted. And because they were all there because of him. All these women fell in love with him, and that's the reason they were there. And if the reason that you're there stops giving you a reason to stay, you know what I mean? It's just these ladies just don't seem to get it. And Janelle didn't really want or need him around all the time. She didn't need him to be a parent to their children because Christine was the other parent to her children. She didn't nag at him because she's claimed she's done all that lovey-dovey, holding hands, romance stuff. And all she wanted was, her booty calls whenever he came over and we played some ball with the kids or played it, hung out with them, watched a movie. She thought he was the best dad ever. But you have to remember that back in those days, Cody was never home. He traveled for his job up to 2-3 weeks at a time, and he'd come home for a few days, and he could play daddy on the short term all he wanted. So when he was home, yeah, he was on. He was the fun dad. He was the let's go do stuff dad. But then he would get to disappear again, and he would not see his kids for a while, and it was all up to the moms. So, in my opinion, their definition of what a quote good dad is very skewed because they don't know what it's like to actually have a man around all the time being a good dad. But was Janelle a good sister wife? Yeah. She kept her relationship with Cody to herself. She did not vent to anyone else about him. No one knew what was going on in their relationship. She didn't gossip. And she wasn't really in a place with her sister wives at that time to get any venting or complaining to her. So at the time, they all kept it all to themselves, which is probably the best way to do it. But she was not friendly with them. She made fun of them, took advantage of them. There's a difference between being a good sister wife and being a friend. Now, here's the thing that also bothered me. Janelle said that she did not want her date for her birthday this season to be on video. So we didn't get to see that. And then Mary, for her anniversary, called him up and they went for a drive. We didn't get to see that either. Like, why? What's happening that we're not supposed to see? If they're gonna not have cameramen there and they're gonna let the family like record themselves on their phones or whatever, then you need to make it explicitly clear that you do not turn the cameras off about the interesting shit. Because we're all pretty sick and tired of listening to y'all bitch and moan about the other. We're tired of Robin crying, her kids saying, oh, everybody's so mean to us and blah, blah, blah. Y'all know how I feel about that. That's a whole different episode. But I'm just saying, they're all sick of each other's whining and crying. So it's time to either shit or get off the pot, fix it or go. One or the other. That's it. And at this point, I think Cody's fine with all of them going. He doesn't want Janelle to go because she's a meal ticket. She's his cash cow. Also, maybe he likes what she's putting out, in the bedroom. Who knows? I mean, he seems pretty interested in getting some, so I mean, what the hell? What do you guys think? Do you think it's weird that we didn't get to see either of those dates when before it was a big point of like having them have date nights? I think it's odd. And lastly, my friends, my very, very, my loving fam, I think that we need to have a petition. We need to do something to force TLC to have a tell-all with them all together and at making them answer the hard questions. I think that we should be allowed to submit questions and they should be required to answer them. Make it part of their contract. You don't want to talk until do the tell-all about the television show that we're paying you, $100,000 for or whatever, then guess what? You're done. You don't get paid. Period. It's crazy. And I'm really sick and tired of these fake tell-alls And yeah, I'm glad the last tell all we got to find out that Mary and Janelle were done with his shit. However, that was it. None of them answered any questions. They were all separated. Basically, they were just stirring more shit by saying, oh, well, this person just said this in the interview. What do you think? And, it's like, that's gossiping. Get everybody together and fucking just force them to be honest. It's not difficult. You write the checks, you call the shots. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? It's like, come on, be real. Okay, I'm sorry that kind of dragged on, you guys. But those are my insights, my thoughts about Christine and Janelle and their supposed best friendship, sister, wife, whatever. I think that they are no longer fighting over the same man's attention and love. And so now they can be friends. But let's just be honest. Be honest, ladies. The first 25, 30 years of your relationship, you did not like each other. Or at least Janelle did not like Christine at all. They are pretty opposite, let's be real. But don't piss down my leg and tell me it's raining. Okay? Like I watched this since day one. I have rewatched it. And by the way, FYI, my friends, watch season 14 again. 4 seasons ago, only 4. And the difference is incredible. Robin went from having a backbone and standing up for herself and telling Cody no to, oh my God, I'm Cody's little shadow puppet. And if his hand's not up my ass telling me what to do and say, I just don't know if I don't know how I'd get to the bathroom. It drives me nuts. I hope y'all know. It's makes me crazy because I just want to tell these people, stop it. Stop it. Okay, guys, I'm sorry to ramble. I just really enjoy talking to you guys. I hope you guys leave me lots of comments and things that you think. I would love to hear all of your perspectives on it. Do you think I'm way off base here? And if so, that's totally fine. Just please, tell me in a nice way so that we can, discuss our points of view. I brought examples to back up my opinions and my thoughts about these things. So when you come at me with a different opinion, please bring your facts with you, not your thoughts or your opinions, because these are my thoughts and opinions, but I also back them up with proof. So bring me your receipts. I will happily discuss. Because, again, maybe there's been stuff that I just totally forgot about. And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. And that'd be okay. I'm totally fine with being wrong. I'm a mom and a wife. So I totally am used to being in the wrong. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe if you please would, because it means a lot to us. And it just shows that you guys are listening and are liking what we're doing, and so that we will keep doing it. Until next time, y'all, please be safe and wear your seatbelts. Use your turn signal. Take care of your little fur babies and spay and neuter them. And please, this is coming up on the holiday season. People are not doing well. The financial state of the world is pretty damn bad, and people are feeling it in very depressing ways. So I'm one of those people. So hang with us, be kind. Please don't call me names and come for me in a bad way, because I'm willing to chat. I'm willing to be wrong. Just tell me why. All right, guys, be kind. Till next time. Bye.